This isn't going to be a guitar playing vid. This is going to be a shorter vid where I just talk. And as usual, my goal is just to de-escalate some things and maybe bring some better understanding and communication to events that have transpired. There was some friction in the AMP community today. Okay, we had a gentleman, an AMP designer, a man of many talents, the designer of this amp here, the Aqueous, one of his only smaller amps, the guy who helped me put this Mojotone British 50 together, and behind it, a high watt 50 from Mojotone. We saw him call out someone else in the amp community today. I don't know if that video will survive to see another day. But yes, there was some friction between an AMP CEO, product manager, and an AMP designer, company owner. What I'll say about the situation is this. It got heated because this was the second time, not the first time, this was the second time that an idea got nicked. Okay? The first project that got nicked was what you saw on here, the Bastard Class series. The relationship that I had with the mechanic, designer who helped me put the JMP together, well, that relationship was replicated between two other gentlemen, and a brand of amps was launched. And out of the 50 different ones you can get on Mojotone, this is the one that the guy's making. And he's just making the Mojotone kit with the Mojotone cabinet and slapping his name on the front and charging God knows how much. So it's like this. Let's say you're watching YouTube and you come across the Bastard Class series that went down, caused some controversy with the Mojotone brand last spring. And you think, wow, I see how those guys are communicating with each other virtually, and maybe I could do something like that. And you do it, and you FaceTime with an amp guy who kind of leads you through it, putting the Erector kit for adults together. You know, the Erector set, or the Legos for adults. And then you're like, damn, okay, I can do this. And then you start your own brand with that amp. You say, oh, well, I can buy this shit for $900. Buy all of it. $900 each for Mojotone. And I think I can sell this for $35, $4K. Probably something like that. All right. I mean, a shout out saying, "Hey, I saw you guys at this channel, at that channel. I saw you guys doing that. That was cool. You guys inspired me. That would have been cool." So that was a project that we even changed how Mojotone did their documentation. Um, I mean, yeah, it was a big deal. They have like 50 kits. This is the one that this project that I'm referring to chose to do, and got inspired by the videos we put out. Then time goes on. The gentleman that helped me on this one and built that one, he starts a new project. The new project is, I'm going to build the loudest, biggest tube amp of all time type thing. It's going to have bowling ball sized transformers. It's going to have 8 KT88s, this sort of thing, like an amp that will dim all the lights on your block if you turn it on and rock out with it, right? So he does that. He builds it live on YouTube, again, sharing his ideas and his plan. And then all of a sudden, the same dude comes back on the trail and says, "Hey, here's my idea. I'd like to introduce this to you guys." After the gentleman had already built the thing and already shown off the project, the other dude comes through and says, "Hey, here's my thing." And it's the same project, just a little bit bigger, right? Okay, now we got a pattern. And even with the pattern, if there was some sort of shout out, like, "Hey, I'm watching you guys, rock on, give us some devil horns, say what's up," or something, but to just get influenced enough to do one project after the other and not acknowledge it. Nah, there's a pattern there, and hey, you got to be original, And if you're not totally original, you got to give a shout out to somebody who inspired you. That's all. I mean, these things are pretty niche. It's not like I want to learn how to make sourdough bread. I want to learn how to make candles. It's like, this is 1 out of 50 kits that Mojotone sells. And we put out videos that change the documentation on this product. And right afterwards, this person has a similar relationship with an amp guy like I did, and learns how to build the erector set for adults and starts a brand. And then that amp guy continues to watch the channel and puts out his, "This is the biggest tube amp ever." Yeah, it just doesn't sit well. So the math, that's a whole other subject. But the subject that went unspoken of earlier, when all the talk was about the math, does the math? The subject that went unspoken was, we know you guys are watching, and you guys got to find your own projects. And if you do get inspired by a project that you see, these are very specific things. if you do get inspired by a project you see, tag us, send us some love, maybe order an amp from that guy, you know? Maybe say, that's what's up, dude. Let me see what you're cooking. Here's some cash. Send me an amp. Okay, so I'm just trying to clear the waters, because you might have seen him get a little over the top angry and emotional about the situation. And it's just because his channel has a lot of drama, and it's difficult for him to maintain the channel because of things YouTube does and things that the outside community does. And when he sees that these ideas are getting nicked and that he's excluded, he probably just feels a sense of disrespect from that and would like to be accepted and seen for what he does. So I'm simply trying to clear the air, clear the waters. There's been a pattern going on here, and that would be really weird if it continues and there's a third project that these gentlemen decide to pursue. But that's the thing. Our format is just putting it out there and not having high production value, not having things in the can, content in the can ready to roll out when it's already completed. No, we're gonna show you the whole thought process, and that can lead to having your ideas get ripped off, but it shouldn't be that way. And I really hope y'all don't do it a third time. And it would be cool to have given us a shout out. At this point, it's too late. But on these projects, it would have been cool to get a little shout out. So that's why you might have seen the emotions run high. It's a little out of pocket to just pull up on people's projects, replicate them to a T, and then pretend like that's not what you're doing. So, hey, if you don't do it a third time, and you should have given us props before, or just gotten your own ideas. So, but hey, there's no hate. There's some hurt feelings, but there's no hate, and all the best. But yeah, for your next projects, just do something original. Like, don't copy Fender, don't copy Marshall, don't copy channels on YouTube that you get ideas from. Do something totally original. All right, peace.